dirty old southern town, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I remember about my grandma.
In the summer.
Pretty warm all year round.
Yeah.
Alabama. But, then of course everybody wanted to make sure they got through pre-flight school because it was like they were playing West Point. The people who ran it down there, they had all kinds of demerits, the honor system and all this stuff, you know.
Yep.
Phony things like they got everybody up. And once they get into pre-flight school, I once or twice during my 9.5 weeks or 9 weeks there, a couple of months, they got us up at 2 o'clock in the morning, going to have a drum out because somebody somebody did something that didn't agree at the honor system. They wouldn't tell you what it was, but they got you on the parade ground, all kinds of searchlights out there. The guy with a big drum, you're going to drum out to this guy for a felony, screwing up the honor system.
It's a lot of drama.
Nobody I know ever knew this guy. Just a name somebody gave it. Just to show you what this drum out ceremony was. It was always 2 in the morning. And it was interesting because by 3 we were all back in bed.
But not for long.
And at 4:30 was reveille, you know.
Yeah.
It was a hard schooling thing there because we had to do the military crap and we were back into more advanced technical studies about aircraft and why did they fly and, you know, what made them go. We had a lot of classroom stuff, and then we had the military stuff continuing to learn to march and do all that stuff. And then the next thing was we went over to Lafayette, Louisiana, which I had never heard of in my life. I had no idea where Louisiana was, but this is down, almost down near Baton Rouge, but not too far away anyway. But anyway, that was a little primary flying school. We had little single-engine open cockpit airplanes that we learned in, built by Fairchild and Ryan. Some of them had radial engines and some had inline engines in them, which we had courses in to know the difference. And these didn't have electric starters in them. You always went out, there'd be a mechanic out there along the flight line. You're going to get out in the morning, and you'd have to stand up on the wing. There's a big handle that you had to start pulling around to wind up a iron wheel inside the
Like a flywheel.
Yeah, build up stored force, and then you go through the haul it. The guy that was about to fly the thing, and make sure you had to switch on and switch off things. So when you let go of this thing, pull the handle out, that old chunk of steel was rotating fast enough. It had a lot of stored energy, and you pull the wire out and engage the thing and kick the prop around. And after 2 or 3 things on a chilly morning, which we got into before we were out of there, we actually got the airplane so we could taxi on it. We had we were supposed to get 8 hours. We were supposed to be able to solo that airplane, take it up by yourself without an instructor. And I began having trouble all of a sudden landing. I didn't have good depth perception, but I passed all the tests because I figured out a way to do it. And I really didn't know how it worked. best way for me to pass it was to do what I did. And it worked for me. I did pass it. But I didn't get to solo yet because all of a sudden I was having trouble landing the airplane. I'd either drop it in from 8 feet up and jolt you pretty bad, or I'd fly it into the ground and bounce up again, you know. And I had a good instructor who was smarter than I was, I guess, because I thought sure in hell right then and there I would get washed out because I was not landing well. And I went out there the day after I had 8 hours in. And he said he had a talk with the commandant of cadets last night about me. And he said, you're doing everything just fine. You're ready to solo except for the landings. So he said, I got another hour for you anyway. And he said, so I'm going to take you out to the artillery field today. And I want you to know that I've got another hour up my sleeve too. So he said, I think you're doing really good on everything you do in the air, but you don't do good landings. So we're going to just spend an hour shooting landings, touch and go landings up there. We went around the field twice, and I landed 2 beautiful landings in a row. And he said, taxi over by that little shack, at the edge of the field. Taxied over there. He jumped out on the wing. And he said, you want to kill yourself, go do it by yourself. I'm getting out. And he jumped off the wing and walked away. And the son of a bitch, he's just soloed me. I took my first whole solo ride, and I missed that head in the cockpit ahead of me, you know.
Yeah.
But I managed okay, and he was standing out there, and when I set the airplane down nicely the first time, he just said, go again. So I went around the field 2 or 3 times, and he got back in, and said he did a great job. He said, I knew you could do it.
What do you think the difference was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
You figured it out.
Nerves and that stuff.
Yeah.
But this instructor was smart enough to know that I could do it if I had the right motivation, and apparently I got it. And I'll tell you another time about basic training, which was a bigger airplane. And I had a nut for an instructor there. He loved to show off his acrobatics in that airplane. It was a BT-13, which was the primary school. We had a 220 horsepower engine, and we went to basic, which was the next step up in a heavier airplane. That had a 450 horsepower engine in it. It had a two-position propeller that you could change it from a high to a low pitch. High pitch was when you were up to altitude and you wanted to just cruise along and not use too much gas.
Mm-hmm.
Low pitch was
like overdrive.
It's full power, pulling you, you know. And after you get up and leveled off, that was a big adventure in itself because I was actually flying every day alone.
Which is what you had signed up for.
And
that's what you had signed up for, really.
That's what I wanted, something but you would never throw.
Yeah.
Never throw with your training. And that was even after you graduated and got commissioned and everything. I went through the basic fine. My instructor loved acrobatics, and when I got to the acrobatic phase, they had special instructors for that.
Mm-hmm.
And he took me up, and I was better than he was, and he admitted it.
Because of the guy you had before.
He said, that bastard's doing my job.
That probably made you feel good.
This guy's name was Mullins. That was my regular instructor, and he was a real nut. He'd tell me ahead of time we were going to meet some other instructor with a student. We were going to have a dog fight out there somewhere. These guys are very guys the devil with their airplanes and showing me how to do things too, you know.
Yeah.
I had all my acrobatics down before I ever got into the acrobatic training stage. I didn't have to do it because it was all done by him. But I had got to the point in that place, by the time I had another 60 hours or so in that airplane, I was able to go out and dogfight with guys that I knew.
Yeah, you told me a story about that one time that I taped. I'd have to end this now.